Comment 1508 is about a special exception to a procedure for working out the upper and lower bounds for a calculation. Remember, upper and lower bounds is all about how certain numbers just have a look of being rounded. So if I had the area of a field and I was told that that was 20, I don't know, or even 200 meters, and I was told that that was 100 meters. Given what I know about farms, that just seems incredibly rough to me. So when I say they're rounded, I mean this could have been 199, or it could have been 202.37, and this could have been 95. There's a whole range of things it can be. And what we do with upper and lower bounds is we basically find out just how rounded these could have been. So this might be to the nearest 10, and so might this. And so we basically have a worst case scenario on the high end of the spectrum. So the worst case scenario is that this 200 was really very close to 205. And the worst case scenario for this is that that 100 was very close to 105. And so the worst case scenario at the high end of the spectrum, because we think that our area of our field is 20,000, in reality it could be as high as, I don't actually know what the answer to that is. Just going to look it up. Yeah, it could be as high as 21,525. So we think that it's 100 times 200. So that's just our basic calculation, which gives us a straightforward answer of 20,000. But our worst case scenario is that it could be as high as 21,525. Now the worst case scenario low is that that could be as low as 95, and this could be as low as 195. So whereas we think that it's 20,000, it actually might be 18,525. Now remember, these are just boundaries, which is why they're called the upper bound and the lower bound. You can think of B as standing for boundaries. In other words, that is the boundary between what it couldn't be and what it might have been. So for example, it couldn't be 21,600, that's too high, because remember this is the worst case scenario. And it could be 21,524, and the boundary between what it could be and what it can't be is this. So that's why it's called the upper bound. Think of that as standing for boundary. Now, the lower bound, it could be 18,526, but it could not be 18,524. So as I say, the boundary between what it could be and what it can't be is that figure there. Now, what comment 1508 is saying is that you only need to do this procedure of turning a 100 into a 105 and a 95 if there was some possibility that this was rounded. If you had a circular field and that was a radius of 15, and you're trying to work out the distance around here, then 2 times pi times r will give that to you. So the basic is this. And the worst case scenario high, and the worst case scenario low, is that 15 was actually 15.5. Now, I know it couldn't actually have been 15.5 because that would have been rounded up to 16, so I forgot to say that's the nearest whole. But remember what I said, it's just a boundary. Boundary between what it could be and what it couldn't be. It could be 15.49999. It could be 15. It could not be 15.50001. And the worst case scenario low is 14.5. That's a boundary that it actually could be, because 14.5 does round up to 15. But what I'm saying with this comment is you do not need to change these, because there's no chance of them being inaccurate. It's just the 15 that looks like it might have been rounded. A massive clue for which is that they've actually told you that it was how much it was rounded by. So 1508 says, when there's a chance that the ingredient figures to the calculation are rounded, then you go through this adjustment procedure of changing the 100 to 105 and 95. When there's no chance that it could be rounded, so for example like this 2 and this pi, which are just part of the basic formula for the circumference of a circle, do not adjust those. Change 15 to a 15.5 for the upper bound, change a 15 to a 14.5 for the lower bound, but leave those alone.